Starting the coffee with chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level, good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Nice.
Nice.
Starbucks instant with just a little bit of cream and sugar. Boy, that tastes good on a Monday morning, doesn't it? Can we have a moment of silence for every man who tried to turn a hoe into a housewife? Let's just bow our heads for about 10 seconds. Thank you very much. As we remember these men as they have wasted their lives, their money, it kind of reminds me how men will squander friendships, brotherhood, inheritances, their own hard-earned savings, all for a piece of ascot. Man, I hope it was worth it. But here's a little clue. It's never worth it. And shame on you. Know yourself before you know her. Know yourself before you become a couple. You have to know what makes you tick before you enter into a relationship, which is nothing but a contract. Let's get real about that. If you don't know all the aspects of a contract, you're just getting in trouble. Just don't sign everything away. And I'm not even talking about marriage. I'm talking about your emotions. I have seen men get desperate because they're not getting ass. I have never, and then what takes the place of that? Brotherhood, gangs. Don't believe in these overly masculine, fake alpha douchebags that talk about gangs and tribes and all this stuff. Come on, let's get real. It's 2022. I think you're watching a little too much Sons of Anarchy. That is a grift right there. The whole concept of an alpha, the tribe, the gang, the brotherhood. Yeah, that brotherhood will stick it up your ass the minute they don't find you useful, the minute you disagree with them. So, enough of this alpha crap. Music loud and women worn. I've been kicked around since I was born. It's all right. It's okay. You may look the other way. We can try to understand the New York Times effect on man. Barry Gibb, 1977. From the song Staying Alive. Which, for any of you that are in the first responders category, you already know this, that the beat of Staying Alive is the rhythm that you use in doing compressions in CPR. Well, that's what I learned anyways last week in my CPR recertification. In 1930, Iowa artist Grant Wood used his sister and his dentist as models for his painting that he called American Gothic. He chose a random house in his neighborhood to put behind them. You know, the American Gothic painting of what looks like a farmer and the farmer's wife, and he's holding a pitchfork. It's kind of interesting, right? They were actually real people. What if they're all in on this? I'm talking everybody. I'm talking everybody in the EU. I'm talking everybody in power in America. President Putin. What if they're all in on this? Everybody, the good, the bad. And what if our responses are being measured and categorized? Is this really about good versus evil? If you think that this is about good versus evil, you may have fallen right into that trap. If you are flying a Ukrainian flag and sending aid to the Ukraine and feel sorry for those Ukrainian people, guess what? You fell into the trap. Who do you think is the greatest bodybuilder of all time? People have their preferences. Some people say Ronnie Coleman. Some people say Sergio. Some people say Bruce Lee. One guy said Charles Atlas. One guy said Eugene Sandow. Obviously, the people who answered this question are not bodybuilding fans. Just kind of onlookers, but those are not serious answers. One guy said God. All right. Hey, what's going on with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V? Man, that was one super expensive beach, wasn't it? Holy cow. What is it with these guys that are just like giving away half their shit because of a piece of ascot? Come on. I can't believe people are saying goodbye to marriages and family for a piece. That's going to be kind of fun to watch, isn't it? Going back to the quote-unquote invasion, the Russian invasion. Remember this, when it comes to war, if there's no boogeyman, nobody gets paid. Take a look at historically, and I'm talking historically like in the last month or two, who has become the boogeyman and who is profiting from being a boogeyman, who is profiting from calling somebody a boogeyman. Think outside the box, people. I love this line from Jeff Foxworthy. You don't get married to get sex. Getting married to get sex is like buying a 747 to get free peanuts. I think that's why men need post-nut clarity. You ever notice that? You think a lot clearer after sex? It's true, isn't it? Here's a question for you. Who's going to liberate America from the unlawfully installed government since elections mean nothing anymore? You're volunteering, doing work for your local precinct. Oh yeah, that's really helping, isn't it? You're running around trying to get people to sign on the dotted line, the R or the D. How'd that work out for you last time? Pretty good, huh? You want to bamba? You want to chill with the big boys? I literally lost sleep trying to get that song out of my head. I don't even know the name of the song, but I saw it on social media, and I swear, it is totally CIA. Totally. There's something in that. I got to play it backwards. I got to do something, but there's something about the damn song that's bothering me. It's not that it's just such a great song. I mean, it does have kind of a catchy kind of thing, but why? I look at that. Why do I play songs in my head? Why can't I get certain songs out of my head? Maybe I should try playing it backwards and see what happens. See what it says. Has anyone tried that yet? Polish people, they're laughing at Biden. Nobody takes him seriously. Why? I don't even know why he went to Poland. And the United States, well, the NPCs in the United States, everyone thinks that was a significant trip. Wow, have we fallen. Unbelievable. We get everything we deserve. Everything. Jim Rohn always had a couple good sayings. Every time I listened to him, I walked away with something. The man who halfway through his day can still feel his wife's kiss and embrace will be invincible. Nothing can stop him. That's Jim Rohn. I would say that with your goals, combined with your goals, can make you unstoppable. I don't think her effect alone is enough. God, I hope that's not what keeps you going. Because I think the guy that, quote unquote, still feels his wife's kiss and embrace will be invincible. Actually, all of that stuff puts your goals and your mission at risk. Do it for you. You don't do it for your wife. You don't do it for your girlfriend. You don't do it for your kids. You don't do it for the kids that you're raising. Read between the lines there. If you do anything, do it for yourself. What happens? She's my everything. What happens when your everything splits? So does your goals and your mission. What if you can't feel your wife's kiss and embrace? Do you all of a sudden lose your invincibility? Become invincible on your own. I look at like incels that like do damage to people, to themselves, that commit suicide. They forgot what post-nut clarity is all about. They think that getting a little something something is going to make their life, make their weekend worth it. Add a little spice to their life, cure their loneliness. You know, there's no quicker way to get lonely than to hook up with somebody, because the emptiness and the space that exists after the hookup or the shack up, whether you stay with her for a weekend or she stays with you for a weekend, that puts you at risk because you're living on highs and highs only. Some people say, well, that's okay. No, it's not. It puts you on an emotional roller coaster. You are better off by yourself. We keep sending the same 535 people to Congress and expect different results. You know, it's funny. I said that in 2016. I posted that somewhere. I wrote that down. And in a short 6 years, I've come to the realization that we haven't sent anyone to Washington for maybe 20 to 30 years. The people are not represented in Washington. Washington, D.C. in the United States is a completely separate class of people. They are not us. They are not us. Your elected people do not represent you anymore. Remember there was a day when we called congressmen our representatives? When was the last time your congressman or congresswoman represented you? I don't remember. It's been 20 or 30 years. It seems like they do what they have to do to get into office, and then once they get there, you never hear from them again, except when it's re-election time, because you know a politician's job is to get reelected, and that is it. Oh, call your congressman, write letters. Talk about a waste of time. Well, that's it for Monday morning. Hope you have a great week this week. Make money a priority. Stack your cash. Stack your gold. I know you can't take it with you. Enjoy some of it. Utilize it. Use your money, not to buy shit, but to create, I don't want to say create a legacy for yourself. There's all this stuff going around now. Create a legacy. Let me tell you something. You're gone after you die, within 2 generations, nobody thinks of you. So do everything you can now. I used to think about my grandfather when he died. Every day. Literally for 10 years, I thought of him every day. And then it was a few times a week. Then it was a couple times a week. Then it was once a week. Now maybe every other week. And that's 2 generations. You know, I'm 2 generations away from him. My kids won't even think about him. Won't even cross their mind. Within 2 generations, you're nothing. You're gone. Now, You'll be with the Lord, that's cool, when you die. If you believe, if you are born again, as Christ says. But I will tell you this, do what you can now. Because once you're gone, if you have no kids, I don't want to say you're screwed, because I think everyone needs to have children. I really do. Learn how to raise them. Do what you got to do. But even that isn't as satisfying as you might think. All these people talking about, this is the way to do it. And they show the husband, the wife, and the 3 kids and all that. That's not for everybody. That is not for everybody. I'm not a doomer either. But let's get real. You can't just snap your fingers and turn into family man. And turn that garden tool into a wife and mother. Well, being a mother does something to a woman. Yeah. Okay. And with that, finish your coffee. And I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, reason, the chopsticks of truth. And I'm trying to help you stand up on your own 2 feet. Stop relying on other people. Men, act as if you don't have a woman in your life. How would you act if you didn't try to impress a woman? Whether it be a girlfriend or your wife. How would you act? Think about that. And let's talk about that sometime.